Hello, everyone. Good morning. Here to tell you a little bit about me, Fastly, and why speed matters, and it matters a lot. So I'm Artur Bergman. I'm CEO and founder of Fastly. I used to be CTO for Wikia, which is a sister site to Wikipedia. Before that, I was at 6apart and LiveJournal. Long history of doing open source development and crucially on Twitter. So Fastly. Fastly is a 4-year-old company, founded in July 2011, with $1.2 million in seed funding. And with 7 people, we started with 7 global locations and 1 office. Today, 4 years later, 4 years and 1 month, we are 210 people. We have 4 offices around the world. We just opened our Tokyo office, and we have 25 global locations. And we serve about 4.5 to 5 petabytes of content per day. And we've seen during the last 3 years about a 300% year-on-year revenue growth serving. So how? The reason why is this. It's the customers that we have managed to find and serve in a market that has been severely underserved in innovation. These customers all share a desire to have a very, very good user experience, a very good experience for their customers. And a lot of them have that desire, especially when they're moving into new markets that are not their home markets. And why is that? So this is the bounce rate on a first page view in percentage based on load time. So you can see as the load time goes from, let's say, 0.5 seconds to 1.5 seconds, you lose twice as many users as you would if you deliver that site faster, right? And the drop-off is pretty dramatic. Users do not like to wait. There's been many, many studies done on this. They're all the way up from Amazon and Google, Facebook, and so on, that basically suggest very strongly that there's a direct correlation between performance and user engagement and revenue. Faster something is, more engagement you get, the better brand value you get. So why are things slow? And the real reason is latency, right? Latency is what really kills any kind of interactive experience that you're trying to deliver to a user. So it's a measure of time delay experienced in a system, the precise definition of which depends on the system and the time being measured, or more commonly known as waiting for things to be fucking delivering to you, right? Like, shit is slow. Like going to the DMV in California, flying from San Francisco will always take a certain amount of time. These things don't really change. You can change a lot of things. The fundamental one you can't change is this one, which is speed of light. Right? And speed of light in fiber is actually about 2/3 of that. That seems to be very, very fast, but it's actually not that fast, right? It still takes in fiber about 150 milliseconds for data to go back and forward from the US to Hong Kong, for example. And so every time you have to fetch something back from the US, you're paying that penalty. You're paying that 150 milliseconds. Twice, 3 times, 4 times, it starts adding up. And if we look at the earlier slide, where we see every millisecond counts against how your users perceive your performance and how your users interact with the site or just abandon it. Right? So you have to fight latency. You have to really, really go and figure out how to make everything fast. So what Fastly does is we're a content distribution network. Right? So we sit between your data centers, your cloud providers, and your end users. Whether it be a mobile, API, IoT, or boring old web browsers. And we sit with extremely powerful hardware all around the world. And this is something I really would not wish anyone else to do. Like having to deploy hardware around the world is very, very painful. It's actually directly correlated to the import-export nature of an economy. So Hong Kong is a very easy place to do it in. Brazil is a very hard place to do it. But we have built this amazing network that delivers this. So all around the world. So why? In 2008, I was CTO at Wikia. And if you think of a wiki page, you go to Wikipedia or Wikia, those pages don't actually change that often. Like, they're very, very static in a way, until some world event happens. Someone famous, Oscars, TV show, something, and everyone starts editing it immediately. And the normal desire would be to serve this content close to the user. But the state of innovation in the space suggested that it takes about 10 minutes to update content around the world. So then you have a choice of either copying all your data around the world and then keeping it in sync, which is an incredibly hard problem, or always going back to your data center and paying that speed of light penalty. And wiki pages are so cacheable. They're so easy to store if you have that control. So we call this event-driven content, and what it really needs is instant purge. It's instant ability to get rid of content at the edge, right? So the edge is all our servers or all your servers around the world. And you need to be able to put data there, control that data, but really, really fast get rid of that data. So you need instant purge. So in 2008, 3 years before Fastly was founded, I took 2 servers as checked luggage and flew to London from San Francisco. It's a great way to do a startup. You start by breaking customs laws. Just walk through customs. So by doing that, we cut the Wikia load page in UK from 20 seconds to 2 seconds, right? And so no one else could do this for us. We resorted to literally just building it ourselves. And then 3 years later, we had so much demand from other people going, like, we want this technology, that we ended up with Fastly. We really feel the need we really felt the need to have a system that was transparent and fast and evolved with the kind of needs that we have and not limit us. So we allow you to purge, to control your content in less than 1 second across the world. And that really enables you to do some really amazing applications, especially as you're evolving into markets that are not US, Europe. US actually has a pretty good network foundation. Europe has a really good one too, but some very weird politics between carriers. APAC is a very, very difficult environment to operate in because of how the different carriers interact with each other and also prefer sometimes not to talk to each other, protect the home market, and so on. So we help with that. The other thing we're seeing is an incredible drive on mobile traffic. And this latency gets even worse, right? Like, now you're not only paying for latency back to your data center somewhere, you're also paying for the radio latency that goes between your device and the local network before it hits the actual internet. And then on mobile, you actually also have a much shorter attention span. Like, if things are slow, people just switch. They're not at a computer doing something. They're walking. They're doing a transaction. They're on a bus. They just want to get data right now. I was in Tokyo yesterday at SoftBank World and saw something pretty awesome, which was an army of Pepper, which is their little robot that's about this tall and has emotions and says hi. Take something like that. That's an IoT device, really, and it needs a CDN. It needs something to distribute data to it real time. So robots are one example of that. Cars are another example that need to be able to communicate fast in both directions. So some of our customers in that space are customers that you use all the time. Like if you use New Relic, for example, which I'm pretty sure all of you do in one way or another because it's embedded in so many applications, all that data stream comes in through Fastly to New Relic. If you go to a lot of real-time websites, the data that comes out comes through us, and our systems allow you to do that. I don't know how popular Hotel Tonight is here, but Hotel Tonight relies heavily on geographic targeting personalized for the viewer that's still being offloaded to us because they have this real-time control of when a hotel room gets booked, they can get rid of that content around the world, and no one double books, but it's still extremely fast in that region. The trend we're seeing that enables this is a separation of data and presentation driven by mobile app development, right? So you have your presentation layer be in the app, and then you have the data layer be requests coming back from our servers, or from your servers, and once you do that, it's much, much easier to actually push that data closer out to the user as long as you can retain control of it. And then we're, and that's misspelling, we also see the same with that. We also see that being transponded to single-page JavaScript applications that follow the same model. Operating at the edge is just a way of thinking that lowers your total cost of ownership at the central and has some other benefits around it. One that I'll mention very quickly is DDoS, distributed denial of service. How many people here have been at the end of a distributed denial of service attack? All right, not that many. So when your app becomes popular, when your site becomes popular, it will happen to you, and suddenly 2 million desktops around the world will attack your site. And what you need to do is use someone that can defend that at the edge, right? When 250 gigabits per second of attack traffic comes at you. However, a DDoS is also very much like a traffic spike because of popularity. So if you have, for example, in the US, the Super Bowl, customers will have traffic that spike about 20, 40 times for 2-3 minutes. And again, an ability to offload that closer to the user allows you to absorb that without any performance degradation. So a lot of our customers come to us because they're going, we want to expand. We're based in the US, we're based in the UK. We want to expand to markets without having to put our data centers there, without having to copy our data there, without having to be under those data regulations, and without having to outlay that capital. And so our goal really is to make sure that no one else has to do what we did, which is fly around the world and build servers. Instead, we provide kind of a layer to let you do that and let you beat speed of light, which is really what you need to do. So why care? Your content falls into some of these categories. You have APIs, you have price and inventory, you have sports scores, you have data that changes and that needs to be close to users. And the only way to deliver that fast is to deliver it close to the user. Otherwise, speed of light will be in your way. Thank you very much.